Let's perform router on a stick configuration. In this lesson, we will use this network diagram in which PC1 and PC2 has been assigned with their IP addresses. IT Pipe Skill Switch 1 has been configured with Vlan 10 and Vlan 20. On IT Pipe Skill Switch 1, the interface E11 is assigned to Vlan 10 and the interface E12 is assigned to Vlan 20. We need to configure the chunk interface E00 on IT Pipe Skill Switch 1, and then we need to configure the sub-interfaces F00.10 and F00.20 on IT Pipe Skills R1, and finally we will verify the configuration. To configure a chunk port at the interface configuration mode, we issue the command switch port chunk encapsulation.1q, then hit enter. And then we issue the command switch port mode chunk, then hit enter. Let's do it on IT Pipe Skill Switch 1. Here we are at the privilege mode. We need to go to the configuration mode. Then we go to the interface E00. Then we issue the command switch port chunk encapsulation.1q, then hit enter. Then we issue the command switch port mode chunk, then hit enter. And that's it. We have just configured a chunk mode for the port E00 on IT Pipe Skill Switch 1. Now let's configure a sub interface. At the router configuration mode, we issue the command interface, and then we specify the name of the interface and dot, and then we provide a number. This number usually a VLAN number, but is not required to be the VLAN number. Then hit enter. It will bring us to the sub-interface configuration mode. Then we issue the command encapsulation.1q, and then here we need to provide the VLAN number that the sub-interface is connected to. Then hit enter. Now we need to issue the command IP address, and then we specify the IP and the subnet mask, then hit enter. Let's do it on IT Pipe Skill Router 1. Here we are at the privilege mode. We need to go into the configuration mode, then go to the interface F00, and then we put in the VLAN number .10. Please note that .10 is not required to be the VLAN number. You can put in any number, but it's better to put in .10 so we can recognize this as it connected to the VLAN 10. Now we issue the command encapsulation, and then we check the option, and here we can put in the option for .1q and ISL, and we put in the option for .1q, and then we check the other option. Then we can provide the VLAN ID. Here you have to provide the VLAN number that we want the sub-interface is connected to. In this case, we connected it to the VLAN 10, so we put in the VLAN number 10 here. Then hit enter, and then assign the IP address 10.0.1.1, subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Then hit enter and issue the no shut command. Let's repeat the same steps for the sub interface f00.20, and we issue the same command encapsulation.1q, and then we provide the VLAN number 20, then hit enter. After that, we assign the IP address 10.0.2.1 and subnet mask 255.255.255.0, and issue the no shut command, and then X out of this, and we need to go to the parent interface F00 and then issue the no shutdown command. And that's it. We have just configured the sub interfaces F00.10 and F00.20 for the interface F00, and as you can see, the interface F00 change state to up, and we're done with this. To verify the router configuration, we can use two commands. The first command is show IP interface brief, then we hit enter. Then we issue the second command, show IP route, then hit enter. Let's do it on IT Live Skill Router 1. Here we are at the privilege mode. We issue the first command, show IP interface drift. As you can see, the two sub interfaces that we have just configured with their IP addresses has the status up and the protocol status are up. So everything looks good, and also the parent interface F00 also have the status up and up. Now we issue the show IP route command to verify the routing table. As you can see, the routes for the two sub interfaces show up as a connected route. Everything looks good. To verify the VLAN routings is working between the two subnets, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. At the PC1 in VLAN 10, we ping the IP address of PC2 in VLAN 20, then we hit enter. Now let's do it on PC1. We issue the command ping 10.0.2.100 and hit enter. It's timing out because it had to send the app request, then it has a reply. Everything looks good. While pinging from PC1 to PC2, I also performed the Wireshark capture on this link, and this link. Since this is the Ethernet frame movement, so we need to pay attention to the MAC addresses, and here are the MAC addresses of the interfaces in this network. Now let's look at the frame movement from PC1 to switch 1, and here is the Wireshark capture. As you can see, the frame has no 802.1q header. And now let's look at the frame movement from switch 1 to router 1. The Wireshark capture shows us that the frame is inserted with the 802.1q header, and it has a VLAN 10 ID tag to the frame. Now let's look at the frame movement from router 1 back to switch 1. The Wireshark capture shows us that the frame is inserted with the 802.1q header, and it tags the VLAN ID 20 to the header. Finally, let's look at the frame movement from switch 1 to PC2, and the Wireshark capture shows us that there is no 802.1q header. Let's read the keynotes for this lesson. This is the end of this lesson. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching.